Search engines have evolved more rapidly in recent months than they did over the entire previous decade. We have seen AI overviews completely transforming the search engine results page. We have seen the infamous Google algorithm leak confirming exactly what Google really values, including confirmed user behavior signals like nav boost. And we have seen the complete decimation of old school spammy tactics like self-promotional listicles that used to work like magic and are now getting websites wiped off their first page entirely. If your strategy still revolves around stuffing keywords into mediocre blog posts or buying cheap backlinks from random directories, you are playing a game that ended 2 years ago. You are likely watching your organic traffic slowly bleed out, wondering why your newest pages are barely getting indexed, let alone ranking. So I am here to tell you exactly why and more importantly, exactly what to do about it. I'm gonna hand you a comprehensive, fully updated 3-step system to rank #1 on Google. Let's go. So by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why publishing more content is often a terrible idea, how to structure your sites to build undeniable topical authority, and how to capture the specific user signals that Google's newest algorithms are actively looking for. So eliminate the distractions, take out your notebook, and let's get started. Before we dive into the specific 3-step framework, we have to establish exactly what are we dealing with in 2026. The rules of engagement have changed, and if you do not understand the new landscape, any tactic you apply will be useless. First, the reality of AI-generated overviews at the top of the search engine's results page. They are the new standard for informational queries. When a user asks a complex question, they are immediately presented with a synthesized AI-generated answer. This means traditional organic click-through rates have plummeted for standard blog posts as users are getting their answers without ever clicking a link. Therefore, your goal is no longer just ranking in the top 10 blue links. Your primary objectives must be to become the source material that the AI models cite in those overviews. This requires a completely different approach to structuring your data and validating your claims. Second, the massive 2024 Google API leak gives us absolute confirmation that user interaction signals are the primary driver of rankings. The leaked documents from Google revealed a system called nav boost, which meticulously tracks user behavior using specific metrics like good clicks, bad clicks, and last longest clicks. If a user clicks your link and immediately hits the back button because your page loads too slowly or it is full of fluff, that is registered as a bad click. If they stay on your page and don't return to the search results, that is a good click. Google is looking for pages that immediately satisfies the user intent. If your page cannot provide the instant gratification, nav boost will push your page down the SERP, regardless of how many backlinks you have. Third, Google has declared war on manipulative scaled low-effort content. For years, marketers relied on publishing massive volumes of thin, unoriginal articles just to capture long-tail keywords. They published self-serving comparison guides where they miraculously rank their own products as the best option every single time. Those days are over. Now that we are clear on the current state of search, let's break down the exact 3-step process you need to implement. Step #1 is decoding the true search intent. This sounds incredibly basic, yet it is the #1 reason I see beautifully designed, well-written pages completely fail to rank. You cannot force Google to rank a piece of content that does not align with what the data says the user actually wants. Before you write a single sentence, you must act like a detective. You need to type your target keyword into the search bar and meticulously analyze the first page of the results. You are looking for patterns. What format is Google rewarding? Are the top results long-form comprehensive guides or are they short, punchy listicles? Are they product category pages for an e-commerce store? Are they interactive tools or calculators? Let's say that you run a fitness blog and you want to rank for the keyword calculate daily protein intake. Your instinct might be to write a massive 4,000-word article explaining the history of macronutrients, the science of muscle synthesis, and the difference between whey and casein. But if you actually look at the search results for that query, you will mostly find interactive calculators. And even if you do write a long-form article, you'll be competing with Harvard Health, which is a very authoritative website. So in general, the user searching for this phrase does not want to read. They want to input their height, weight, activity level, and get a number immediately. If you try to rank text-heavy blog posts against interactive tools, you're gonna lose every single time because you have fundamentally misunderstood the intent. And then you must also evaluate the depth of the intent. Is a user looking for a quick, factual answer, or are they looking for a deep comparative analysis? If someone searches for how to tie a tie, they want a quick video or a simple diagram. If they search best project management software for remote teams, they want a detailed, nuanced comparisons with pros, cons, and pricing tiers. Matching the format and the depth of the top ranking results is non-negotiable. Here's the massive shift. Stop assuming that creating new content is always the answer to declining traffic. In fact, for most established websites, creating new content is a waste of resource when you have existing assets that are underperforming. Your fastest path to increase traffic is auditing and upgrading your existing content. Go into your Google Search Console, look at your performance data over the last 28 days, and make sure that the average position data is added. Select pages and sort the average position from the highest to the lowest. And then expand your data table and focus on pages that are ranking between positions 4 and 15 and with high impressions. These are pages that Google already deems relevant, but they just need a slight push to break into the top 3. Make a note of those pages and then add comparison data, especially last 28 days to previous period. Then sort the data on a position last 28 days column. If the column shows 0 and the position previous 28 days shows a position, this is a bad sign because these are pages that have dropped off Google search and you need to work on them. You also want to look at pages from 16 position onwards to see if there were pages that used to rank from 4 to 15 position but are now ranking even worse than before, such as this. It used to rank on the 3rd position, but it is now ranking on 13. The reason why I said 16 and above is because earlier you would have recorded pages that are from position 4 to 16. So you want to look at 17 onwards on this column to see if there are such instances. Take those specific pages and ruthlessly upgrade them. Add a custom infographic, embed a relevant video, update the statistics to the current year, add a frequently asked questions section that targets the specific long tail variations you are almost ranking for. This strategy of upgrading existing assets will yield significantly faster and more reliable results than constantly churning out new unproven articles. And here is something else you need to hear. If you have hundreds of pages on your sites that are getting zero traffic and serve no clear purpose, they are actively dragging your entire domain down. Google evaluates your site holistically. A large volume of low-quality, ignored pages signals to the algorithm that your domain is not a trustworthy authority. Auditing your contents library and either upgrading or removing those dead pages can produce dramatic site-wide ranking improvements almost immediately. So step 1 is all about cleaning up your website's content, upgrading them to make them more useful, and knowing if your content serves the user intent. And this leads us directly into step number 2, which is to establish deep topical authority. The era of Jack of all trades blog is over. If your website covers travel tips on Monday, personal finance on Wednesday, and software reviews on Friday, Google will not trust you to rank for any of those subjects. In this current state, the algorithm heavily favors specific hyper-focused domains. To outrank massive high-authority websites, you have to prove to Google that you are the absolute expert on one specific subject. And you do this through a hub-and-spoke content architecture. You do not just write one article about a topic, you build an entire ecosystem of content around it. Imagine you're launching a website about espresso machines. You do not just write one massive post titled The Ultimate Guide to Espresso. That is too broad and you will never rank for it initially. The key is initially. You then go on to surround it with dozens of highly specific spokes articles. You write an article specifically about how to dial in a bottomless portafilter. You write another about the differences between flat and conical burr grinders. You write a third about descaling dual boilers espresso machines, how water quality affects espresso extraction, ideal grind size for light roast versus dark roast espresso, best tamping techniques for consistent espresso shots, and many others. Every single one of these highly specific, low competition articles must contain a contextual internal link pointing back to your main hub page. As these smaller, highly targeted articles begin to rank and generate traffic, they pass that authority directly up to the main pillar page. And when Google crawlers map your site, they see a tightly woven web of relevance. They recognize that you have covered every conceivable angle of espresso making, which signals immense topical authority. And in case you don't know, as a RankMath Pro and a Content AI user, you can highlight a relevant anchor text, click on this and select Generate Link, and Content AI will find relevant internal links for you. Or you can click on RankMaths tab, scroll to the Links Opportunity section, and have Content AI find those relevant internal links for you for your entire article. And with a single click, the internal link will be added. And you can also use the Related Post feature to have AI find those thematically relevant posts to build strong contextual relevance. Also, you can use the Keyword Maps tool to build internal links for your pillar page easily. If you want to learn more about our internal linking solutions, you can check out this video right here. The link is in the description. So you don't need a massive backlink profile to rank on Google. The internal authority structure does a significant amount of the heavy lifting for you, especially in the early stages. However, structure alone is not enough. The actual content on those pages must demonstrate genuine expertise and first-hand experience. Google employs around 16,000 search quality raters worldwide, and their official guidelines, the EEAT framework, explicitly instruct them to look for signs that the author actually used the product or performed the task they are writing about. You can no longer just summarize the top 3 ranking articles and expect to win. But how do you prove first-hand experience? You move away from generic stock photography entirely. If you are reviewing a piece of software, do not just use the promotional images from the company's press kit. Take your own screenshots showing your actual account dashboard, including the messy parts. If you are writing a cooking recipe, include photos of the intermediate steps, not just perfectly styled final dish. Use specific sensory details that only someone who actually done the work would know. Mention the exact error messages you have encountered during the setup and the specific workaround you have discovered. These are the nuances that purely AI-generated content cannot fake, and they are exactly what Google is rewarding right now. Furthermore, you need to actively cite your sources. The old SEO myth was that linking out to other websites would leak your page rank, and this is entirely false. Linking out to high authoritative, relevant sources actually validates your content. It proves that your article is grounded in established facts and exists within a trustworthy neighborhood of information. If you mention a scientific study, link directly to the academic journal. If you quote a statistic, link to the original data source. This level of rigorous citation is a massive trust signal for the algorithm. It dramatically increases the likelihood that the AI models will pull your content when generating their overview answers. More than that, you need to optimize your pages for the search engines, where you will use our set of SEO checks to determine if your page is SEO friendly. And if you need help with optimizing them, simply use the Fix with AI feature. And that will solve your SEO optimization. And also for large language models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc., where I recommend that you watch this video right here to learn how to optimize your page for LLMs. Now we have arrived at step number 3, cultivating external trust signals. You have matched the search intent perfectly, and you have built a comprehensive, expertly written topical cluster. But to truly dominate competitive search engines results page, you need external validation. Other reputable websites need to vouch for you. Let me be absolutely clear. Backlinks are still a foundational ranking factor. The idea that links no longer matter is a dangerous misconception. However, the days of buying massive lists of low-quality directory links or participating in shady private blog networks or PBNs are over. Google's link spam algorithms are incredibly sophisticated, and they will penalize your site aggressively for manipulative link building. Right now, the focus must be on earning links that actually drive referral traffic and, more importantly, generate brand mentions. A study by Ahrefs strongly suggests that unlinked brand mentions are becoming incredibly powerful. When a high authority site mentions your company name or product without actually linking to you, Google's entity recognition system still pick that up. These unlinked mentions are showing a massive correlation with visibility in AI overviews. The algorithm is increasingly looking at your brand's overall presence and consensus across the web, not just raw number of links pointing to your domain. So how do you earn these high quality links and mentions? The most effective strategy right now is creating what we call linkable assets driven by original data. Journalists, bloggers, and industry publications are constantly looking for statistics to back up their own reporting. If you can provide that data, they will gladly cite you as the source. You don't need a massive research budget to do this. You can run a comprehensive survey of your own email list or social media following. You can analyze public open source data and present it in a new, easily digestible format. For example, if you're in the real estate niche, you could analyze public tax records to create a report on the fastest growing neighborhood in your specific city. When you publish this original research, you package it with a clear, embeddable charts and graphs. You then proactively reach out to local news outlets and real estate bloggers, offering them the data for their own stories. This strategy consistently uses the highest authority links possible because you are providing genuine value to the publishers, not asking them to do you a favor. Another highly effective yet frequently overlooked strategy is utilizing digital PR platforms where journalists actively request expert commentary. There are numerous platforms where reporters from major publications post queries looking for specific insights to include in their upcoming articles. By monitoring these requests and providing concise, highly valuable answers that perfectly match the journalist's angle, you can secure placements in massive publications. The key here is not to pitch your product, but to genuinely answer the reporter's question using your unique expertise. When you do this consistently, you build a reputation as the go-to source in your industry, and the links and brand mentions will follow naturally. Finally, do not overlook the power of community-driven visibility. Being an active, helpful participant in the relevant online communities, whether it is a niche subreddit, a specialized forum, or an industry-specific LinkedIn group, builds brand recognition and generates organic mentions. These community platforms are increasingly being indexed and referenced by AI models when generating answers. When your brand is consistently associated with helpful, accurate information in these spaces, you become part of the trusted consensus that AI systems draw from. Let us bring all these together. If you want to rank number 1 on Google right now, you need to execute this 3-step framework with consistency and patience. Step 1 is decoding the true search intent. Analyze the search engine results page meticulously before you start creating anything. Match the format and depth of the content that Google is already rewarding. And remember, your fastest path to growth is often auditing and upgrading your existing pages that are hovering between positions 4 and 15. Rather than consistently publishing new unproven content. Step 2 is establishing deep topical authority. Stop publishing random, disconnected articles. Build tight, comprehensive content clusters around your core topics using a hub-and-spoke architecture. Prove your first-hand experience with original imagery and specific details that only a real practitioner would know. Validate your claims by linking out to authoritative sources and optimize your page for both the search engines and LLMs. Step 3 is cultivating external trust signals. Focus on earning high-quality backlinks and brand mentions by creating original, data-driven linkable assets. Utilize digital PR to get your expertise cited in major publications, and consistently participate in relevant online communities like subreddit, Quora, or whichever communities that matter to your business. Dominating the search results is not about finding a temporary loophole or tricking the system. It is about aligning your website's architecture, content, and external authority with exactly what search engines and users are demanding right now. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you smash that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss our upcoming technical deep dives. I highly recommend that you install RankMath on your WordPress website to streamline your entire SEO workflow. It is designed specifically to help you implement these advanced SEO strategies, from schema markups to internal link suggestions, directly within your WordPress dashboard. You can find the link to download it for free in the description down below. Thank you for watching this video. This is Jack from RankMath. I'll see you in the next video.